Hey y'all, so I'm gonna be reviewing episode 93 of Gegege no Kitarou, and I gotta say, yo, this episode brought it! Fuck yeah! And let me explain why. Now, in this episode, I like how at the start, it just plays with my emotions as a Cat Chick fan when it just has like Cat Chick make this beautiful, wonderful, one of the best confessions I've ever seen to Kitarou, and I was like, yes, yes. I was like, during the live reaction, I was like, fucking, I fuck. At least in my opinion, I looked like a kid opening the presents on fucking Christmas. I was like, ugh. And it was so pumped up. And what I like about this episode is it emotionally got a bat and figuratively beat the fuck out of my head. And that because and you know what? It's the type of beating, and I mean that in a positive way, because afterwards this episode just shattered my heart when afterwards it like shows you that Kitarou is possessed by this yokai called P, and essentially everyone in like the whole world is like possessed, and they've kind of become vampires, everything in the world. And then it forces Daddy Eyeball to use this phantom train where if you utilize the phantom train, you die, but the person that's on the phantom train, and at this point it was Cat Chick, they get to travel back in time, but the condition is explaining the phantom train. If you know about it, you will instantly die if you explain it to anyone else, even a person that already knows about the phantom train. And I like that. It shows you, for one, Daddy Eyeball, he has an ace in the sleeve that he can utilize, although at the cost of his own life, and with some pretty fucking harsh conditions too, because holy fuck, if death occurs when you utilize an ability and you have to be with someone else so that person can use the freaking train, that is a steep price of utilizing the ability. So I kind of like that because it makes the phantom train a useful ability, but it doesn't make it broken either. So that's another thing I like about this episode. And I like how in this episode had like a sad, melancholy feeling, because every single time Cat Chick goes back in time, she tries to help out Kitarou, tries to like help out everyone else. And then the sad thing about it is every single time she fails, at least until one day she realizes that she should travel back in time earlier. She travels back in time earlier, but then she discovers that the first person that was turned into a yokai, and not into a yokai, into a vampire by Pi and Monroe, was actually this rat-looking dude who, yes, it's Ratman. So then afterwards, it ends up in like a sad sequence where Cat Chick has to go. She travels back in time to the day where she made the confession to Kitarou, and it kind of has somewhat of a sad ending because, and this is a situation where she pretty much has to go and save Ratman and prevent him from becoming a vampire because. But the thing that makes it tragic is that she is essentially forced into a situation where she can't confess to Kitarou in like the perfect sunset setting that she did originally in February 14th to save Ratman. So she pretty much saves Ratman, and while fighting Pi and Monroe and beating them, she pretty much cheers up and she says, "I love you, Kitarou," and her monologue. And I like that scene that's right there because it was built up throughout the whole episode, seeing her trying to like desperately save Kitarou. Because before she did all the time traveling, she successfully confessed to Kitarou, and Kitarou recuperated the feelings back, and you can tell they were really lovey-dovey with each other, and it was making me so happy. You see Kitarou all worried about Cat Chick, and it was so adorable. I was like, oh, this is cute. And then afterwards, to like see that confession that Cat Chick never happen was sad. But at the same time, I loved it because it shows you the character development of Cat Chick, where she's willing to look at the needs, the really like the big needs of like Kitarou over her own personal feelings. And I like how at the end she's like, she's going to confess to Kitarou someday, but it'll have to be out later day. And I like that. It shows you Cat Chick's growth because she was willing to... No, she was assertive at the start of the episode. And the only reason why she doesn't confess at the end was because most likely all these circumstances lowering her mood, and then the perfect opportunity was gone at the moment. But I like how the episode brought out the point that she's going to try again. So I like that. And come on, Zoe. I hope they do it again. So that's why I thought this episode did great from the story standpoint, because it just sent me on emotional highs, and the final portion of the episode just slammed down my emotions to the fucking ground. And I love it for that. I know it's worth saying that my emotions being slammed to the ground felt good. But Toei wrote it so well that I loved it because it shows you growth in Cat Chick. And it shows you a bit more later to Kitarou because in the wall, yes, the Kitarou in the timeline now doesn't know about Cat Chick's lovey feelings like that. We know that if Cat Chick ever confesses, Kitarou will recuperate the feelings back and he will be protective of Cat Chick. And I love that. That was really sweet. So that's why I thought this episode did exceptionally well from the character standpoint. And then aside from that, gotta say, when it comes to like the yokai, Monroe and P, they're pretty cool yokai. I like the designs. We didn't get to see much of them personality-wise, but we got to see how powerful they are if they're left to their own devices. So I thought they were pretty epic villains. Hell, fuck, they were fucking more epic than even like the Western yokai themselves. I was like, jeez, these yokai fucking made a number in like a single episode. I love it. So that's what I really love. I thought those two characters were pretty impactful. And at the same time, I love the epic stakes too, where it shows you that if Cat Chick didn't succeed, the whole world would have been overtaken by vampires. And that's why I thought this episode did a great job in having high stakes. And that's why I felt it did well from a character and story standpoint. Give you a nice satisfying ending though at the end, with Cat Chick saying she's going to confess someday, and with Mana pretty much hugging Cat Chick's arm and saying that she loves Cat Chick when Cat Chick offers to buy her something. That's so sweet and adorable, like the sister-like bond. So I like that. Because in the episode at the end, even though it wasn't specifically what I wanted, it was still something beautiful. Because you see Cat Chick and Mana become closer, and you see Cat Chick's feelings for Kitarou becoming much more positive. And that's a really beautiful thing. And you get to see that Daddy Eyeball has a trump card, which is the Phantom Train, but at the same time, and ain't really a card he can use much because... And that's another thing I like about this episode. Because with time traveling, it's a slippery slope. I like how in this episode, it kind of avoids that because Daddy Eyeball, he mentions that if he utilizes that ability, he loses his life. And additionally, the person that has to be with them to utilize the train, and that person that's with them in the train, they can't tell anyone else about that ability once they go back into their original body, because if they do, that person will die. And I like that. It gives some nice costs, and that ability is really specific, so it can be abused in future episodes. So I like how the writing staff also tied up loose ends for the most part. So that's another thing I liked specifically about this episode. And yeah, so I thought I did well from the script standpoint. Thought the animation art were beautiful, especially Cat Chick's expressions when she was crying, the beautiful sunset, or when it showed it at the start when she confessed to Kitarou before all the time traveling things started. Just everything popped visually, and I thought Monroe's character design was beautiful. Kind of looked like Marilyn Monroe there. And aside from that, yeah, the artwork was beautiful too, and there was even new music that sounded beautiful, and that's why taking all these factors into consideration, cannot rate this episode anything less than an 11 out of 10. It deserves it, and Toei, I tip my hat. Y'all have made one of the best episodes in the series by far. Honestly, Gegege no鬼太郎Season 2 has been pretty dang amazing. Had Gegege no鬼太郎Season 2 ended last year in episodes maintained of this quality, no doubt about it, it'd be in my top anime of the year list in 2019. Hell, it was my favorite anime of the year. And so far, this has been my favorite anime this year. Toei's been outdoing themselves. And that's why, yeah, I love this episode. You can tell Toei put their blood, sweat, and tears into this episode. I don't know about blood. I hope none of the animators bled while making this episode. Probably sweat and tears. And I appreciate that. Oh, man, this episode. As a Cat Chick fan, it strained my heart, but if Cat Chick ever does confess again, oh man, that'd be so awesome. But yeah. No, but seriously though, I love this episode. So anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. Be sure to comment down your thoughts on how I feel about my review in the comment section below. Rate the video, share it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.